Question: what is Romans chapters 9 through 11 about? Well, here's what it's not about. It's not about any kind of Calvinist theology. Spoiler alert for you there. What Romans chapters 9 through 11 it's about Israel. It's about explaining why most, not all, but most of the Jewish people at that time, and still to this day, as a matter of fact, were rejecting Jesus as the Messiah and rejecting the gospel. And it's explaining that, why that was happening, and that how they were there was this stumbling block because they were trying to approach God through their own righteousness, through their obedience of the law, which wasn't going to work, because we learned that from Romans 1 and 2, right? That we're all guilty, we've all failed, we all need God's grace. And it was explaining the role of the Gentiles in all of this, which, one of the things that the Gentiles do, one of the roles that we play, is to really make the Jewish people jealous. And what's also described in this portion from chapter 9 through chapter 11 is the attitude that Gentiles like me should have towards the Jewish people, towards the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And that is not an attitude of cocky arrogance towards the Jewish people. It is should be an attitude of brokenness, of humility, and love, and a desire to see the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob come to know the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in a very personal way through the Messiah that God promised to the fathers. And our attitude should be one of love, of brokenness, of weeping for them, and looking for any opportunity to serve them and love them into the kingdom. He is first and foremost their Messiah, okay? And we are benefits. We got to be benefits of that, but he's first and foremost their Messiah. And we ought to have an attitude of humility and love. And that is what Romans 9 through 11 is about. It's not about Calvinism. Just forget that anytime you approach this portion of Scripture, because it's about God's heart for Israel.